The 2025 Big East tournament kicks off with Butler versus Providence, 8 versus 9 matchup in terms of their standings. These two split their season series. Butler with winning the last matchup in a very close game, which feels like they might have gotten bailed out by that Goldson call, but close game towards the end. Um, but definitely entertaining game between the two. Um, Big East tournament is here in Madison Square Garden once again, re restoring the feeling, low key, just a smidge. It's always good to see basketball in the Mecca. But Tariq, what are your thoughts on this matchup as the Big East tournament starts?
It's an interesting matchup because it's not two of the better teams in the conference. Butler's 4-6 in their last 10. Providence is 1-9. Um, like you said, they split the first two matchups. Providence won the first, or split their regular season matchups. Providence won first matchup 84-65. Butler won their most recent one, which was just a few days ago, um, 82-81. In that game, both teams shot 30 of 60 from the floor. Providence made 16 threes to Butler's 10. Both of these teams like to shoot the three ball. Providence makes 9 per game. Butler makes 8 per game. So really, what this is going to come down is to the 3-point shooting. Um, they're both pretty similar in terms of stats. Um, uh, Butler scores 74 points a game. Providence scores 71. They both shoot around 44 to 45% from the field. Um, Butler's one of the better 3-point shooting teams percentage wise at 37%. And then Providence is not too below them at 36. Um, so as you can see from the last matchup or their most recent matchup, not a ton of defense, but hopefully we can get some sparks. We can get some another high scoring game where a lot of players are shooting the ball well. Jordan Telford, sorry, Jamil Telford. I don't know why I said Jordan. Jamil Telford has averages 16, 5, and 3. He had 24 in their game against Butler. Um, Pierre Brooks had 18, and then Finley Bizjack had 15, who has been playing really well of late. So I'm curious to see how he plays in that game or in this game. And then for Providence, uh, Vince Lee Joseph had 26, and Barron had 23 and had 7 threes. I feel like every time he shot the ball, it was going in. Like he was shooting from a lot. I'm like, hold on, if he can shoot from there, why they only won so many games?
No, he got a strap for sure.
It's
He was
like
letting
I
joints
said,
fly too.
he let one fly, and I was like, yeah, he wilding. And then it went in. I said, oh, it's one of those days, huh? Um, hold on. Yeah, hold on, I'm trying to find Corey Floyd Jr. Golly. Corey
Got
Floyd.
some names
God
on here.
dang, bro. It's the Oreo. Corey Floyd Jr. Golly had 17 in the game. So I'm curious to see if some of those matchups or some of those performances happen again, considering they played so recently. Um, but I couldn't really tell you who has the edge, and I guess that makes sense for an 8-9 matchup. I would lean towards Butler since Providence has only got one win in their last 10. Um, but I mean Providence, I mean they lost Bryce Hopkins after 3 games or after he played just 3 games. So their season's been kind of out of whack all year long. Um, and that's been for a lot of these bottom teams in the Big East. Like they've been killed with injuries for the most part. Do you think there's a team that has a distinct advantage over the other?
I don't. But I think with the stakes here, this game, we do see these teams play with some urgency. Um, because you got whatchamacallit, Butler losing their last four, Providence losing their last five. You said they're winning 9 in their last 10. Um, I mean, somebody's got to advance. So they're, as you said, they're like, middle of the pack teams or more so towards the end of that middle. Um, but they're so evenly matched that I feel like we will see. I mean, it's one game elimination, and you know anything can happen in one game. I mean, so I'm just thinking like it's going to take a big performance from somebody on either team for them to advance. Um, I think that might come from Pierre Brooks. Um, if I were to just have to throw a guess out there, I think it's gonna come down to the guard play really. Um, just the level of intensity, and I feel like guards are supposed to drive a team through March. Um, you don't really see a lot of teams led by a big that advance a lot, but I mean, I think
Mhm.
just with the stakes and with what's going on, you have to have the guard to lead you there. Um, so yeah, Butler is favored. Uh, they're 1.5 point favorites in this game. I think that's pretty on par, being that their last game was decided by a point. Um, so yeah, I'm leaning towards Butler in this one.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Um, Rich Barron, he hit 23 in the game before we mentioned. He hit
Hmm.
7 threes in that game.
Yes,
How many other games do you think he scored in double figures this season?
if I were to guess, and you're asking this question the way you're framing it, I'm gonna say it's less than six.
One.
One.
And it was the game right before the 23 points. He had 11
He
points, then
was having a
23
week
points.
then.
Then it was 8, 9, 6, 8, 2, 3. His most recent games, he scored 3 and 2. So I'm not gonna say that was an outlier performance,
Yeah.
but it's looking like that was an outlier performance. He shoots. What's he shoot from the three on the season? Because he shoots 35% from the field on the season, but he shoots 34% from three. Last year, he shot 43% from three on 2.5 attempts per game. Um, so if I'm Butler, I'm trying to stop those kinds of things from happening. I
Hmm.
don't know why I thought this game happened sooner. I think it's because we're recording 3 games at one or in an hour span. They played a month ago, like almost exactly a month ago. They played
Yeah.
February 8th. So things are going to look a little bit different in terms of who's out there and who's not. But I don't think Providence can rely on 23 again from Barron. I don't think they're looking for that. If they are, their season could be over, just being honest. Um, but I will say, I think Butler has the advantage in terms of um, talent or like quote unquote shot making. Um, so I would lean towards Butler here. But I feel like if we both go Butler, then Providence gonna win. But I'm gonna go Butler too. Shout out to ML.
Shout out ML. But yeah, looking at a couple more stats here. Tougher averages 20 points a game versus Providence. Um, so that's something to look at. I feel like Providence will have to slow him down. And
Yeah.
I feel that I don't know, just so much about these teams that just cancel each other out, you know? It's just
Hmm.
ultimately they have to play and ultimately we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I feel like this is a good game to start the Big East tourney. Um, I feel like this will be one of the better tournaments in conference tournament week. I know we got a couple more conferences that we're covering as a channel here, but I feel like especially towards the top of the Big East where you got so many teams that are like kind of just a couple games off of each other and just not really that different skill wise as far as like skill level. I look forward to seeing how this tournament plays out. So but yeah, first game Providence versus Butler. Keep it tuned in here on the Sleepers Media channel. We'll be recapping the whole tournament.